Hey, joining us today from Simpson Dental, we have Dr. Kristen Simpson. Thanks so much for joining us. Great to see you.
Yes, good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Well, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's start with the oral cavity.
Yes. So a lot of times people might have things that pop up in their mouth and they're not sure what they are. And your oral health is related to your overall health. So if you have changes in your overall health, that might stimulate something to happen in your mouth. So one of the things that might pop up that's a common question that people ask is bony growths that happen on the inside of, like underneath your tongue or on the roof of your mouth. And those bony growths are just called tori.
Oh.
So a tori is just something that happens if people maybe clench or grind their teeth, and that bone is continually stimulated, so it continues to grow. So this is a picture looking down on somebody's bottom teeth. So that area in the middle is right underneath their tongue. So those are just little bony protrusions there. And these happen to a lot of people, and they're benign. The only time you might need to have them taken off is if you're having dentures or partials made.
Mm-hmm. But it looks like something, if you have that in your mouth, you need to get it checked out immediately, regardless if it's benign or not. You know, go see your dentist there. What are some other things that might, pop up in our mouth that we really need to get checked?
Well, so another thing is called linea alba, and this is just a white line that happens right across where your teeth bite together. So if you're brushing your teeth and you're looking at your cheek, like on the inside part, you might see that white line and wonder what it is.
Oh.
It's just like a callus area from where your cheek kind of fits into that spot where your teeth come together. And that also is a benign issue.
Okay.
But it can become more pronounced in people that clench and grind their teeth, or if you have sleep issues. So if you notice that getting worse, you definitely want to talk to your dentist about it to see what could be causing it.
Okay. What are some common things that people come in to say, there's something wrong with my tongue? What are they typically coming in with?
Right, so scalloped tongue is one that we see quite a bit, and that is on the sides of the tongue. It's just a wavy appearance of the tongue, and that's something that happens if you don't have enough space for your tongue, basically. So if you have a narrow arch and your tongue isn't really fitting into that space, your tongue is pushing against your teeth and it's causing it to have that scalloped appearance. Or if you're clenching and grinding your teeth, that can also be a sign for scalloped tongue. Or airway issues. So if your tongue is too large and filling up your airway, it could cause concerns with that.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And what if you notice something different with your cheek, maybe some skin sloughing?
Yes, so this can happen if you have some type of allergy, maybe to your toothpaste or your mouth rinse. It's the sloughing cheek skin kind of peels off. That's just looks like spider webs kind of peeling off on the inside of your cheek. And so a lot of times if you're switching toothpaste, that can cause it. There is a certain type of fluoride, it's SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate, that a lot of people can be allergic to. Mm-hmm. So you might check the ingredients of the toothpaste, and if that's in it, maybe switch to something different.
Okay. What if we see white places in our mouth, like ulcers?
So an ulcer is called an aphthous ulcer in the mouth. A lot of times they're stimulated from stress or from eating acidic foods. So I know in summertime people are eating more tomatoes, but those are acidic and they can spur on these ulcers to come about. They normally are really sensitive and they can be sore. You can just use some topical ointment on them, and they normally go away in about a week or so.
Okay, I mean, you mentioned stress. I always hear that cold sores typically pop out when we're under a lot of stress.
Yes, they do, and they normally pop out at the most inconvenient times, but they normally come right on your lip is a common spot to get the cold sores. They can be treated with medication, or we have a laser at Simpson Dental that we can use to treat the cold sores.
Okay.
So that's an option too.
Okay. How do we know? You've been talking a lot about things that we might typically find in our mouth, and they're fine, nothing serious. But how do we know if it is serious, if we have oral cancer?
Well, that's why you definitely want to keep your regular dental appointments. We're checking all the time when you're coming in doing those oral cancer screenings. And if you have something that pops up in your mouth, even if it's just a white spot that doesn't hurt, but if it stays there longer than a week, it's something you need to have checked out, because oral cancer can progress really rapidly, and you want to make sure that you're getting things checked out. Actually, about 145 million people are diagnosed daily with oral cancer, so you definitely want to make sure you're keeping those regular appointments to have it checked. And at Simpson Dental, we use a Velscope. It shines an ultraviolet light to help us check those soft tissues so that we can see if there are any areas of irregularity with that Velscope before you would see it with the naked eye.
Oh, wow. These are great reminders. Dr. Simpson, thanks so much for sharing them with us today on First Look at 4.